I got connected by George just randomly. He's like, yeah, you did it 10 minutes with Johnny Ren. I was like, do it with Jay. I was like,
Yeah,
Jay, I don't care. Yes, let's do it. Uh, so
perfect.
because I'm not like I'm from Holland, so in Holland we I don't know, we're a little bit disconnected with American improv and with who is doing what there. It's like we have our own like subculture thing going on.
Yeah,
I guess I'd say it like that.
I think like I know some folks in Amsterdam.
Easy loves.
Yeah, and I know I know the guys from Boom because years ago I their first audition and I auditioned for them and I know some folks who now have been there for a long time. But that's like
Hmm.
this whole thing is shrinking the globe so we're able to connect with more people now. I love
Oh yeah, that's why I met Summer. You know Summer really well.
Yeah.
So she came to my workshop on Sunday and she enjoyed it a lot. And then it's like, hey, you're joining Jay? I know Jay. So funny.
It's right. It's just shrinking the world, which to me is the greatest thing. I love the fact that
Yeah.
now you and I we've never met, but now we can go and we can do this scene. So,
Yeah.
um, you pick a number between, let's see, dude, we got 58. So pick a number 1 to 58.
Uh, it's 33.
Oh, yeah, here we go. 33. The best part of the show, I mean, the thing that people love the most is watching me count. So here we go. 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 3, 5, 27, 29, 31, 33 comes from Angela. And oh, this is great. Our suggestion is lemons. Lemons. Thanks,
Nice.
Angela. Oh boy.
They 3,654 lemon scraping.
It's 10 years, man. Today's 10 years to the date.
God, where did the years go? What happened?
I'll tell you what happened with me. I got in a groove, and then
I saw you. Yeah.
I was like, I got in this routine, man. I come here every Sunday. We get off on Saturday, and then I have a drink. I go to bed. I let my dog out. I play with my dog, and then it's back here on Sunday. I mean, it's a little bit. I'll be honest. It's a little comforting, Greg, that I'm in this routine. But yeah, all of a sudden it's like, wow, 10 years go by, like that.
George, I mean, you had such a great life, and I just come here. I I've been looking for a girl for like 6 years now, and it's not working out. You know, this lemon business, Jay, we gotta.
I think you're putting your whole life into this business. There's no way you're going to be able to meet a girl. How could you? How could you? There's no way unless you worked here and you've already told me can't date people who work here. It's inappropriate. So like if you aren't ever going anywhere, there's no way you're ever going to meet someone.
I guess you're right. I should follow my dreams, right? I should do it.
Hey, do not, Greg, don't you say that unless you're going to follow through with it, all right? You're not getting younger. You got to follow your dream. If you that's what you want, then today's the day. Follow your dreams.
I'm
My dream is to have a very stable, consistent schedule. My dream is to settle, and I've settled, and I've never been happier. I don't want to, you know what? I got my dog. That's all I need. You always have needed that other person.
Jay. I want to see the world. I wanna meet people. I wanna
Yes.
get out. I want a dog. I want that. What you have. I want it. I want it
You,
all.
do
But
you
I'm
want it?
scared.
Do you
I'm
want it?
scared.
Do
I
you
want it.
really mean it?
I want it. I
All
want
right.
it.
All right. Then, if you really
I
mean
want
it,
it.
the door's open. If you really mean it, then today's the day you take off your apron, you take off your safety goggles, you take off your hat, you take off your protective gloves, you take off your respirator, and you put them down, and you walk out that door and you go get your dream. If not, then that's okay. I won't, either way, I'm not going to judge you, Greg. I'm not going to judge you, but the door is open to your future.
I'm scared.
Of
I don't.
course
I
you're
don't know if I can
scared.
do it.
Of course. Why would you not be scared? It's natural to be scared. You put
I
all
have
your time.
stability. I have this job now. We can do this. And now I no. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. I no.
You're going to stay?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. No. I'm gonna go.
Do you want.
No. I'm gonna stay. I don't know.
I can close the door. I'm going to close the door halfway. Halfway. All right. Greg, Greg. I closed the door halfway. It's still open enough for you to get out, but it's not too far open for the cats to come in. I mean, the feral cats and lemons do not go hand in hand. It's a battle, as you know, has been waged for millennia. But you need to just say to yourself, what could you do, Greg, if you knew you couldn't fail? Huh? What could you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And let that make your decision. This, well,
I
I'm always going to be here. This factory, this lemon, always going to be here. But it's up to you.
Jay, you
Yeah.
have all the right words. You have the wisdom. You have the knowledge. You're even opening the door for me, and I'm not stepping in. What's wrong with me? Why am I not going?
Look
What's
at there.
holding me back?
Fear. Fear is holding you back. You're paralyzed by it. You're afraid that what's out there is scarier than what's in here. And hey, listen, I'm not going to lie. If you were to leave, Greg, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be sad because, like, all I need are two creatures in my life, you and my dog, Betsy, and that's it. But if you leave, it's going to be for the better if that's what you want. I am not doing, as I'm talking, I'm like, I'm not doing you any favors here. So I want you to think about it. What could possibly go wrong? What's your biggest fear of walking out that door? What's your biggest fear? Biggest fear right now.
Losing you.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Yep. I mean, but
I
if
mean, do
you,
you mean it? Do you really mean it? Do you really care that much about Betsy and me? Is
yeah,
that for real?
yeah, and I'll tell you why it's for real. I care about you. I care about Betsy so much that if you were to walk out and then never came back, I would think Greg is happy. I wouldn't be upset you didn't come back. I'd be sad that we weren't together, but I wouldn't be upset. I'd think it was meant to be. I'm at a point now where I'm cherishing every moment I can have with you. And every moment, every walk I go with Betsy, I cherish it so much. But if you are sad here and you are full of fear here, then you could go, Greg. But it's up to you. I mean,
Come with me. Come with me. Come with me.
really?
Let's go into the world. Let's go to Australia. Let's go to New Zealand. Let's go to China. Let's do it all. Why stay here? Bring Betsy. Do it.
I'm way ahead of you, brother.
Open that fucking door and
That's
let's go.
that's what I'm talking about, Greg. We gotta open that fucking door. You know what happens is we get so appreciative of what we have that we get comfortable. And right now, I'm comfortable. And comfortable for me ain't a good place to be.
No.
Here, Betsy. Good boy.
Come on, Betsy.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. We're gonna take Betsy. We're gonna take her everywhere.
There's a whole world waiting for us out there, Greg.
A whole new world.
and I got comfortable here. And what you've told me is I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk out. I'm going to experience China. I want to experience Australia. I mean, imagine this. There
Yeah.
might, it's not happening now, but there might come a day, one day, where we're not able to travel to other countries. I don't know
Oh,
how that could
imagine that.
happen.
Oh, imagine there
I,
was like a pandemic happening
there's
and we
no
didn't
way.
make
I
the
mean,
choice to go.
could you imagine that? Could you imagine if we were so crazy that we didn't heed the word of scientists if they said an epidemic was coming? I can't ever imagine living in a place like that. But just in case it might happen, today's the day. Well, I'm walking out.
I'm coming. We're going
I
together.
want you to come with me.
We're gonna tackle this.
Come on,
Take
Betsy.
Betsy. Take Betsy. Yes.
Hey, freedom!
Yes. A whole new world.
Scene! Yeah. Freedom! I love the whole new world. That was awesome.
I had to think of Aladdin. I don't know why. The whole time, like, you want this, like, you want to step out of your world and create this new environment where you want to live in and do in and
Yeah.
like,
I mean, it makes sense, and like that to me was like the perfect capper. I love music in scenes. Do you do a lot of musical? Do you do a lot of improv and music?
Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. I'm so jealous of people who do it, and I'm taking singing lessons now, and I want to incorporate it everywhere. I love singing now. I was scared. It's like I don't know. It's a self confidence thing. You're like, oh, can I sing? Is singing good? And now I'm trying it and doing it. I'm like, wow, singing is so beautiful, and like
Oh,
I almost want to go into singing a whole new world, but then I was like, what are the lines? What are the lines?
well, the funny thing is, it doesn't matter what the lines are because whatever you're gonna sing is those are the lyrics in our world together,
True, true,
you
true,
know.
true, true.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think you're
yeah,
right. I mean, it's that thing of fear and two things, that with music improv because I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, can I sing? What are the lyrics? All of that stuff. But I remember a teacher once came into class and said, "Okay, raise your hand if you can sing." And then like a couple people raised their hand. He goes, "Raise your hand if you can dance." And then like a couple people raise their hand, and he goes, when you're 5 years old, everybody's hand goes up. I said,
true,
"Can you
true,
sing?"
true.
I didn't say, "Can you sing well?" Okay, but we put these limitations on ourselves of
Oh,
like,
oh,
oh,
100%.
but
Yeah.
and then I think of my buddy Landon who goes, I don't know, I'll just get louder. And I think that's the key to singing is like if you're afraid of where you are, where your pitch is or whatever, just go loud and it just takes away all of the pressure.
No, absolutely right. I mean, on Monday I did we did this game. It's called, I don't know what's it called, but we play a scene and then we play it again 3 times, and then you
Replay
have
or
different
rewind.
genres.
Yeah.
Rewind, yeah, yeah. And then we ended in Disney, and I ended it like sort of a happy song, and then I ended into like an evil song where I ruled the world, and I was going at it, and I only had a few lessons, but I felt like, wow, I can already like
Yeah.
control myself in a way that I've never had it in the music. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, if after a few lessons already, this is like a new universe I'm opening up. It's so
All
amazing.
all I know about music improv and improv in general is if you go out there and you belt a song and you're not even on key, you're not on pitch, it doesn't rhyme, but there's emotion. That's the only time you're guaranteed applause is like music improv. Just going out there to sing blows people away. They can't imagine you're doing it.
Yeah,
So the pressure
yeah.
we put on ourselves, right, of like the lyrics or like all of that is so secondary to watching you just have fun singing. It was great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I totally agree. Totally. I think it's so much fun. It's so much an added dimension. I mean, the first time felt in love,
Yeah.
I fell in love with improv was like when I'm watching Who's Line and when I'm doing all that singing. I was like, oh my god, this is like next level stuff. How can you do that? And now I'm like slowly moving towards that point of like I'm also gonna do it. This like revelation in yourself, like, hey, I can do this. I can
100%.
actually do it. It's so amazing.
And if you're singing a whole new world and we're looking at each other and your eyes are saying, dude, I don't know the lyrics, then that's time for me to step in, right? That's time for me
Yeah,
to go like
yeah,
lend
you're right.
support. And if you sing, to me, it's like if you sing the wrong lyrics, that's that's the song that's not corrected. Let's adjust to what happened now. And it's, you have so many great, like, I think music directors and improv are the best improvisers because they follow. They'll give you an idea, but then they'll adjust. And if you're going a different tempo or a different, range of some sort, they have an amazing way to adjust to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I love it. Like what we just talked about. One of the things I really love about improv, it brings you back in this childlike state,
Yes.
where you be
Yes.
non-judgmental and you just let go and you just listen to actually what's happening. You become friends through playing. I really love this kind of stuff. Like being back in a child state of
Yes.
mind. That's the perfect state of mind. We are so fresh and clean and non-judgmental and I would say perfect almost,
Well,
in some ways.
yeah. No, I've got a 5-year-old and 7-year-old, and those two are the most in the moment, non-judgmental. They have no concept of later. They don't understand what tomorrow, like, they know there's a tomorrow, but they just don't. They're so in the moment that they don't care. So as for parents out there who are watching who threaten punishment of what's going to be taken away later, take it from me, that means nothing to them. So if you go, well, later you're not going to have this, they don't care. They're in this moment. They want to squeeze every ounce of fun and joy. I watched them yesterday run around in my house, run around in a circle for about 15 minutes laughing. They didn't care about anything. They didn't care if they were getting it right. They didn't care if there was something more fun to do. They were just in the moment of doing that as much as they can. And so, yeah, I'm with you. Improv brings us back to that, like, sense of play, right? That sense of being
Yeah,
a
yeah,
child,
yeah.
which is huge. It's the only, for some people, this is the only chance in your life you get to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we get like stuck in this like we did the scene we did, You're just grading the lemons all day and that's it. And you come home and then you have sort of this life and then you go back to work and then it's 40 years later and you're like still like what happened? What did
Yeah.
I do? What did I do with my life? Did I play? Did I enjoy? Did I
You don't look back at the end of your life and go, I should have worked more. If only I had done more at my job. You look back and you think about the people you've loved and the memories you have and the moments of play in your life, whether that's like you're part of a band. And a lot of times we become obsessed with the end product where it's like, well, I'm
yeah,
going to be in a band and we're going to do an album and we're going to tour or I'm going to be on a TV. You forget, no, the journey, that's what the product is the
yeah,
process. My buddy says, the process, that's your product. So we forget that just doing it is an achievement in and of itself. And I'm sure,
yeah,
like, because you teach improv as well, and I'm sure you see a
yeah.
lot of people who come into your class and go, I haven't played in a long time.
Yeah, and then they have all these expectations from themselves and how they should do it, and even people who come in as new, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I have to be funny, or I have to do it." Like, no, just be yourself and let it go, and just enjoy being in the moment and having fun, and that's all I ask, and nothing more.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I
that's
mean,
the beauty.
how beautiful is that? Where it's like, no, what I'm asking from you is to be yourself, and you don't need anything else. You don't need
Then that
more.
brain like, like my self. Wait, what's happening? That nobody asks this. I when I'm in my bed, I'm myself, but otherwise nobody knows me. It's like
Does
it's
not
it's
compute. Does not
yeah.
compute. And I think through a sense of play, you develop camaraderie. You work with a group. You help an ensemble, but you discover, where you fit in that group and how to make the best groups. To me, take everyone's individual talents and skills and then work that in the group together. It's not like you ignore that part of you, but
Yeah.
you bring yourself to the table, and then somebody else brings themselves, and we find that connection right there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Usually when I teach, I try to avoid saying where we're going. I just let them do it and
Yeah,
find it out. That like these revelations they have, that's exactly what happens. But I'm not telling you that it's happening.
yeah,
It's like the beauty of like this discovery, journey of discovery. And when you discover it yourself, it's so much more powerful than when I say, "Oh, now you're gonna do this in that scene or this
yeah.
exercise." Then be like focused on, "Oh, I have to do this." No, just let your mind and let your body explore this new thing you're doing, and I love that.
Well, that's what makes you a great teacher, is that you're not telling them what to do, so they're trying to do what you want. You're allowing them to discover the thing, which becomes so much better than what, as teachers, we think it should be. When you let people just discover what it could be, it takes on a brand
Yeah.
new life right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe you've had this too. When I was beginning as a trainer and training people, I was explaining a lot because I wanted to prove myself to be like,
Yes,
hey, I know this, I know this, I know what's
of
going to happen. But
course.
now I'm stepping back. I'm just asking questions, and it happens by itself. I let the exercises speak for itself. It took me a long time to find this out. Like this journey on your own way of teaching also. And it's so easy to teach it in some ways that you just let it go and just
Yeah.
let people find this out themselves. It's a beauty.
Well, I mean, it's the imposter syndrome we have. So we go, I need to prove that I'm good at this, so I'm going to tell you everything, and I'm going to try and have you learn everything I know in this one class or these 6 weeks or whatever it is. And like you say, you start slowly realizing, oh, it's less about telling them the stuff I know and more about how can I help you discover things that maybe I don't even know about this. I learn more from watching students than like what I tell them to do.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, everybody who steps up on improv and does it for the first is such a hero.
Yes.
You're taking on a journey that you don't even know what's happening. That's beautiful. It's like I love it. I love it.
How,
It's
how did you get started in improv?
Well, it's a little bit of a like a personal story, which I can tell you. I had a burnout after like a long period of bad stuff happening,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I need to do something else. I need to mix up my life. My background is sports. I used to do sports a lot. I'm a personal trainer and like a lot of certificates and all that shit. I worked very hard, and then like it all comes crashing down. I was like, this life needs to change. I need to do something else. And I've always had this urge to be on stage and to be on a theater and do something. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to Amsterdam. I'm doing the course. I am doing everything. And I felt in these 8 weeks I did the course, there was so much personal development happening. I was like,
Mm.
wow, 8 weeks of this can change my life and my vision on everything in that way. And then I want more. I want more. And I was like, I want to teach this also eventually to other people because this fire you get inside of you, if I can give it to other people, I'm the happiest person in the world.
Oh, and having a background, because I also have a background in sports, so having to me, I feel like this is an art sport. This is oh, I'm part of this team. What's my role? What do they need me to do? So
Yep.
it translated very easily for me from
For me
one
too.
area.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, okay, we're all a part of something. We're working together. I do this thing, you do that thing, and then we all do our jobs, and it leads to something really cool. So I took to it very quickly as well.
Yeah, yeah. And like easily my like let's say my vision towards doing things is I have this big thing and I break it up in small things and I find the best people who can do that small
Oh,
thing. So then I can incorporate it again into the big thing to make it easily manageable, but also like in sports, like for example, CrossFit, what I'm doing is I also manage to break it up. So you have weightlifting, you have gymnastics, you have this and this and this, and I break it up and I find the best person to train me in it. And then I come back and then I have all this knowledge from the best like perspective of that. And in music, it's the same. And in theater and in, like, say, object work and movement,
yeah,
people in improv might not be always be best at movement, but you have a lot of trainers that are based around only movement.
yeah,
I'm like, go there. I'm going there. I want to learn how to move in a theater style, what works best. I want to have the singer that really can teach me
yeah.
a singing style that fits me and I can use in my improv. And so that's a little bit about my vision, also doing things. And that's my sports background that helped me a lot with that.
Well, it's what's great is I think people get in improv, they love it, and they at times either stop growing or they stop looking to develop those areas. And the movement piece you're talking about, I think is very huge, and not a lot of people want to invest in that. But it is so like how your body moves and how to move, especially on a stage if you've never been on a stage, and now
Yeah.
even with Zoom is like how to move in this situation, how you can use your body in different ways to come up with characters. Like it is such a skill that I wish, and maybe they will, but I wish more improvisers took advantage of because using your body is such an
Hmm.
asset for you that a lot of times we rely on like our brains and our voice, but not the other parts. So hopefully people will start looking out for those people
Oh,
who
for
teach
sure.
the
Yeah.
physical stuff.
You should have joined this Sunday. I was doing scene starters. That's like a workshop I do where we start from physicality. So we literally start from physicality. That's why I actually jumped off screen. I didn't want to be on screen immediately with you. This sounds weird, but I was like, we haven't played before. So I was like, let's start with the physicality. From there, we can find out where we're going.
Yeah.
And it's a really easy way to relate to somebody because you easily connect with like, okay, he's doing an action of that sort. Then I will join into the action. And then you're sort of on the same wavelength. And then you can focus on each other. That's
Well,
what's happening between us. What is truly happening inside of us and between us. That is more interesting, at least for me, when I'm doing
yes.
improv.
Oh, 100%. And I knew you're nailing it of looking for the connection. What's the connection? And the physical, your body never lies. So finding the physical connection versus let me tell you what the scene's about. Now I gotta
Yeah,
listen and process that. Like there's so many steps with the verbal that like the physical, I already knew based on how you started that you were dissatisfied with something in your life. I didn't get a sense that it was with me, but I definitely got a sense that there was some dissatisfaction, which then gave me something really cool to work on. And then we had an instant connection
yeah.
right there.
Because I was now sort of scraping like,
Yes,
and this tells you everything about me.
everything.
And then you don't even have to ask. It's like, okay, we're in this situation now. We're doing something that has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
It's the whole story already happening, and I love that.
Oh,
You
and
know.
it's it's that phrase "show don't tell," right? It's like don't
Oh, that's
say.
my. I always say that. Yes. Oh my God.
I had a teacher once who said you should never say how you feel. You should only show it. You should never declare it, but it should be very clear based on the top of your head to your fingers to your toes should always show that rather than you saying that because it's harder for your emotions to catch up. If you're like I'm sad but you're not feeling it, it's so much harder for you to emotionally
I'm
catch
so
up.
sad.
Right.
Oh my God. It's life is killing me.
I hate my life. No, you don't. No, you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
um,
that is a very beginner thing, like, and even like more advanced, like, oh, I'm so sad. And I'm like, don't say it, just show it. Don't,
yeah.
don't waste words on something you can show. Never.
Oh, that's great. Don't waste words. I love that. And it's like pick an object and show us, use the object as another character. So like you peeling, like that's another character for the scene. So show us in that rather than saying it. You've got a whole world, a whole new world, as it were. Whole new world. Where can people, if they want to take a class with you or follow you online or check out shows and things like
Yeah.
that? What's the best
Uh,
way?
physically, no. So I'm doing every Sunday. I'm doing two Zoom workshops. I always have the same topic. One is at 12 Central European time, and one is at 6 because a lot of American people now want to join too. I know, and then I put in like an extra workshop. It's totally free, totally fun. But if you want to donate, it's always open for that. I always host different topics, and I always try to share my expertise with the world and get people more involved in the style maybe I do, and maybe teach you something like what I really like. And if you like it, take it. If you don't, you learn that you don't like it, and I'm also happy. That's one of the things, and I'm also trying to do some online courses now. So you can find me at my name is Lawrence van der Linden. That's also my Facebook page, so you can contact me on there. You can add me on Facebook and even on LinkedIn if you want.
Oh, Lawrence, man, it was a pleasure. I'm so glad we got connected too. I think
Yeah,
you've got that great philosophy, and I love meeting people who love improv who want to help people and not use improv for their own selfish reasons. So I love that the fact you have that. I'm going to put all that information up. Thanks so much, man, for
thank you
playing. I
so much for
can't
having me,
wait.
Jay. I love these 10
Oh,
minutes. I'm watching a lot of them now, so I'm getting addicted. Maybe I want to start one too.
do it. Please do it. Please do it. People always ask, like, I've had people reach out to me and say, like, is it okay if I do a 10-minute? I'm like, I didn't invent any of this stuff. Do it. The more connection we can do, the better. And I can't wait to play with you again, whether it's another virtual one or in person, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I would love in person. That would be best.
It's going to
That's the
happen.
dream.
It's
That's
going
the
to
dream.
happen. All right. See you, buddy.
Thank you, Jay. Bye bye,
Bye.
everybody.